back to back to back to back. Like the neighborhood warriors. I don't miss, I don't play none, I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I stay with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks, tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good, tell my kids don't stress a thing. I go back to back on the drops, drop a lot, and she pack the bag, she shot till we drop. I just wake up, I don't say nothing. I'm on go, I don't stay long. I've been up now, that's a case one. I've been down too, like the day strong. I got summer toys for the summer boy. I keep drummer boys in the summer boy. I keep making noise, I've been paranoid. This is God body, you can never void. I don't miss, I don't play none, I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I stay with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks, tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good, tell my kids don't stress a thing. I go back to back on the drops, drop a lot, and she pack the bag, she shot till we drop. These beats are up and beat 'em, these bags you can't believe 'em. I never saw the country, but the money comes from Sweden. I meet 'em, then I leave 'em, I wake up, fight my demons. I never grew my circle, I can't trust you with my freedom. Get me locked down, keep you locked out. Only when it's here, you look pop now. I get drops now, on the top now. In the wintertime, still go top down. I get free. I don't go bust and I go plain Jane, watch me ski. Yeah, I see you now, I could tell you watching me. I go ghost, but tell me I'm more like his Lee. Rockstar, baby, turn pop star. I don't miss, I don't play none, I don't diss, I don't say none. I go swish, that's an A1. I stay with no A1. Tell the chef, I said thanks, tell I'm in the bank. Tell my mom I'm living good, tell my kids don't stress a thing. I go back to back on the drops, drop a lot, and she pack the bag, she shot till we drop.
Yo. Hey, we live, baby. We're going to talk about bridging the black tech gap today. All right, this is a conversation that I think needs to be had, especially from the Level Up in Tech crew. But before we get started, right, put the LUs in the chat. I want it, y'all hear us, put the LUs in the chat, baby. Fire it up right now. LU in the chat. Let's go. All right, so for those who don't know me, my name is Broadus, founder, managing member of Level Up. I got my co-host with me, my big dog COO, Bryant. What up?
What up, y'all? Let's get this show on the road.
Yes, for sure. So today we're going to talk about bridging the black tech gap. We got a couple of points we're going to talk about, like what, we don't see a lot of representation in the tech industry. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about black people, how we need to be more proactive, and how do we fix that, right? And then we're going to talk about how we need to come together as a community and support each other in order to close the digital divide. All right, so look, are y'all ready for this conversation? Put LUs in the chat again. If you're ready for the conversation, put I'm ready in the chat as well, because this is a conversation that we need to have. And we're going to be super real. I'm going to be super transparent, and this is how we just going to talk to everybody. You know how we talk. You know how we get down, and I hope y'all ready. So, let's start with the first point that we got to make is really we don't see a lot of representation in the tech industry. So what can we do about it? Number one, really awareness, increasing awareness, and really we think it's important to raise awareness about the issue of underrepresentation of Black people in the tech industry. So this means highlighting the problem and the impact that is both on the tech industry and society as a whole, because really on both sides of the fence, like we're not getting hired, especially, and I know some of you can attest to this, if you're in the industry and you're working in your company, you're probably one of the few Black people on the roster. Hey, listen, look at my face. You're probably one of the few Black people on the roster. So How do we fix that? How do we raise awareness? How do we create an environment where it's more, we want to encourage more people to apply to these roles? And even on the other side of it, where raising awareness with us, that a lot of us don't know about how good the tech industry is, how we can really come in and really kick in the door and make life-changing money. The sky's the limit in this. And the crazy part about it, I was just talking to Bryant and talking to our technical community strategist, content strategist, Mel. We were literally talking about how I'll talk to people about level up in tech, or talk to people about what we do. And sometimes we're so far removed of the uh, tech industry and how we can really thrive in it. Some people were asking, like, am I running a pyramid scheme? Like, is this a pyramid? There's no way that you can make this type of money at home on a computer. It's no way that we can do that. And we want to raise the awareness that we absolutely can. All right. So we got a second point for you. I'm gonna let Brian take the second point as well.
Yeah, so our talking point number two that we really wanted to address today is, Black people, we also need to be a lot more proactive in learning about technology. And
Yeah.
going back to Broadus's point in the beginning is, even when I tell people what I do, well, what is the cloud? They think about iCloud, on your iPhone, right? And while that might be just a small piece of an example, they really don't know, that Amazon.com, when they go shopping, is run off of a cloud, or Netflix is on the cloud. And when you start explaining it to them, they become a little bit more interested in it. So that's just a brief point, and then they really become interested in it when you tell them how much money you make, right? So, but
So that's what it's all about. It's about that bread, baby.
right. It is about the bread. We ain't here to do stuff for free, even though we love this career. I truly love this career, and after coming from policing. So, it's really, being more proactive, and getting that access to the education that they really need. I think that's a big point as well too. And I do think that there are several members out there, and several bodies out there, right, and organizations that do their best to reach, the local, especially high schoolers and college graduates just coming out. But as we all know here, is that everybody doesn't attend a traditional school, and everybody doesn't have to attend a traditional school. And we now see the market shifting a little bit to the point where they are not necessarily requiring a college degree for you, and they are hiring people that are self-taught. They are hiring people out of boot camps and programs. So access to that education is extremely important in our younger stages. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't even consider this until I ran into Broadus one day, and he was like, "Man, this is what I do," and he had to explain it to me. So that's just a little bit about the access of education piece. Now, addressing the stereotypes, right? The relationship to technology, right? How often do people tell you, "Oh, nah, I don't do computers"? You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Or yeah, oh yeah, I gotta sit at a computer. Nah, I don't do computers. But they start doing computers when their back starts hurting on their job, or when their feet start bothering. So I think it is about addressing the stereotypes and highlighting positive examples, of people who are succeeding in tech. So I
Right.
think that's really important. And I'd like to think that I am one of those people, but there are many more just like me, right? So, and then the next thing, final piece on this is kind of like 3 points in one, but it's all right. Is industry partnerships, right? Partnerships between the tech industry and organizations that serve Black communities. I think in the last few years, we have seen an increase in this, and an increase in the awareness of certain companies. And I saw a LinkedIn post, I forgot who it was from, just a few days ago, but DEI, however you want to phrase it, right? It needs to be more than a marketing pitch. It needs to be an effort behind it, right? So, those partnerships is what lead to it. So, if Nike or, Body Armor, as I held earlier, if y'all want to come sponsor, our talks here at Level Up in Tech, we would be more than appreciative of that. But just saying, like, partnerships with any education body in the tech industry, especially folks like us who we try to get people job ready as quickly as possible, spending as least money as possible. So, but yeah, that's just the main pieces that I really wanted to talk about is developing those programs, direct to market almost, right? Like, come sponsor us, we can get them into your company, get them trained up properly, and yeah. So I'll let you take over from here.
Yeah. So we want to address too what we need to do to come together as community and support each other and close the digital divide, right? So one thing that I think is something that we all miss, right, is really empowering Black entrepreneurship, supporting Black entrepreneurs who are building tech businesses to help increase the representation of Black people in the tech industry. Not only that, we're going to increase hiring of Black people in the tech industry as well. So right now, for those of you, because I know some of you out here right now looking for a role, trying to knock on the door of a company to convince them to give you a chance. Have you ever thought about getting your own self a chance? Have you ever thought about getting out here trying to land some freelancing contracts, right? Getting on Upwork, even getting on Fiverr, or getting out here landing some government contracts if you have the connections and clearances and certifications to do so, right? How about building your own? I'm just going to talk about it because this is something that I made the jump to do, right? Where it's scary building your own. It's scary going out here trying to be an entrepreneur. But if you jump, right, the steps that you're going to take to really help you learn is going to help you build your business in a way that if you thought about being perfect, you would have never done. Done is better than perfect. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you go out here and just take the steps, build your own, forget about what everybody else talking about, focus on building your business to help uh, be a voice in the industry. Nobody could have told me 5 years ago that I will be a big voice in the industry, even on LinkedIn, right? I will be an influencer on LinkedIn. No, if you told me that 5 years ago, I would have looked at your ass like you were crazy. Right? I mean, that's just what it is. So we need to come together and support Black businesses. We don't do that enough, right? But on the flip side, let's keep it 100% real. We got to. Sometimes businesses, sometimes Black businesses don't represent us as well as we should anyway, right? So we got to help each other really understand the standards that we're going to build ourselves and our businesses up to. Hey, if I'm telling the truth, if Bryant telling the truth, put the LUs in the chat. We want to make sure that everybody's rocking with it. We're just trying to keep it true and honest. And number two is networking, right? That's crucial in any field. But everybody's scared to reach out to someone, right? We reaching out to other people outside of our circle, then to reaching out to people in our circle to try to figure out how we can help each other get in the doors, right? LinkedIn, we're reaching out to companies and hiring managers, just like, hey, instead of reaching out to the people that we already know that's doing something, our mindset is already like, oh man, I ain't reaching out to him because I don't want him to have a leg up and helping me. This is
Right.
what all about. Like, let's be super clear and super honest with ourselves.
Yeah. And then let's be super, I'm sorry, then let's be super clear and super transparent that, in other cultures, they help one another as well. Right. Whereas in our community, right, if we keep it 100% transparent, there's a competition, more so than it is an advocate. Right. So I just wanted to make that point as well. Go ahead. My bad.
And that's the point we're trying to make, advocacy, right? Where
Yeah.
being able to, like, if you see somebody that's trying to get into a role, why are we going to block the blessing that we could just help them?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why are we going to sit there and be like, I ain't messing with him, man. Last time I seen him, he was doing such and such. Well, he doing or she doing this now. What can we do to put ourselves in a position to help them? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. Networking, advocating for our Black community. There's so many people out here that's doing it, that's advocating. All you got to do is reach out, ask for information. But number one thing is you could go and look for a mentor, network with a mentor, and pick their brain. but you have to also value their time as well. Understand that a lot of mentors out here are making major moves, and their time is very valuable. So if you come into the table trying to take, you need to have something to give, and it doesn't need to be financial, right? It could be something that you can help that person with as well. If you want to mentor, research and understand what that mentor is doing with their own community and with their own career, and try to offer a way to help them or some knowledge that you may have to be able to get what they have to give you as well, right? So we're not looking for nothing for free all the time, black folks. That's not just us, but I'm speaking to us since we speaking to us today. All right. So that's how we're going to close the digital divide, is by doing those things that we talked about and so much more. We got a long ways to go to really have enough people that we feel represented in the tech industry, but it starts with people like me, Bryant, and other black leaders that are out in the industry to take a stand and really advocate for our people to get into it. And once we advocate to get you into a role or you in the community or network and connect you with somebody, do your best to uphold the standard of where we know you can be, right?
That's very important.
Be professional with it, right?
Yeah.
Be on time. If you can't be on time, be early.
That's right.
That's the message for the day. If you can't be on time, be early. So listen, our talks are short. Our talks are about 15 to 20 minutes. We want to make sure we get the message straight and direct to you. I hope y'all learned something today. I hope this message just inspired us to come together and build an ecosystem where we can grow, where we can thrive, where we can share the truth, where we can look at some of our faults and improve and be the best we can be. And we also look at the faults that of others that's been blocking our blessings in the industry, right? Where we can navigate through that and blow through those roadblocks that they set up for us and show that we're resilient and we're coming to take our spot anyway.
Right.
Sometimes we don't need a seat at the table. Sometimes we need our own table.
And then I'm gonna add this on top of that. I don't feel like when we have these conversations for non-black folks that we need to preface this, but I believe that we can bridge this black tech gap unapologetically, right? And a lot of things that we do, inside of our culture, right, is sometimes we feel as though other folks are threatened by this conversation or our actions and what we do to try to get each other in. But that's not necessarily the case. It is simply and very, very, not politely, very easy and plain and understand that it is just about getting more diversity, being able to joke and have just plain casual conversations at work with people who understand our culture. Yes, we all, either from the same country or trying to accomplish the same goal, but we can do this unapologetically without anybody else feeling threatened, right? A lot of the other times, a lot of the comments that we hear, all right, and I've come from a whole different career, right, where these comments, these conversations were looked at almost as threatening, when it is the exact opposite of that, right? We are not trying to cancel other cultures, other people, because diversity means us and them all together, where we can eventually just refer to us together in the workforce, working to the job, accomplishing a goal. So while I never feel the need to preference it, right, we should be doing this unapologetically, all right? Because other cultures do it as well too, and they don't apologize for it. It's a known fact. We know it. They know it. It's no secret, right? So just wanted to make that point as well, because these conversations can sometimes be intimidating for other cultures and other races. So just wanted to say that.
But that's what diversity means, right? We're
Exactly.
not a melting pot. We're actually different, and our cultures are different, and it's showcasing that difference in our abilities to do the work, our abilities to think differently and be creative, our abilities to bring solutions to the table. So go out there and get with yours. If you have an interest in tech, take the first step. Learn something, right? Pick something and learn it, right? Don't let no one tell you can't do it. Don't let your mama tell you, your daddy tell you, your cousin tell you, because as people, we have this issue with technology where we think we have to come out the womb understanding computers as a child, as a baby. And I tell you what, I didn't understand tech until I was 33 years old. You understand? So it's never
Hmm.
too late for you, because it was not too late for me. Get out here, get your bag, take care of your family. That's how we close and bridge the gap. We help others do the same with the knowledge. Because and I'll leave it at this. What took us 10, 5, 10, 20 years to learn, we should be able to help people with the same information accomplish the same thing within months or a year, right? So somebody
Hmm.
that it took 5 years to accomplish this task, we should help somebody accomplish this task in half a year or a year, right? A quarter of the time. That's what it's all about. So we appreciate y'all coming through, just checking us out on this live. We appreciate y'all coming through as always. And just know this is damn near weekly live we're gonna put out every week on our Facebook group as well. Join our Facebook group. The link should be coming soon. Right there, boom. Join our Facebook group right now. Network with individuals just like you. Come with just a conviction of wanting to learn and wanting to build yourself to be the better person every single day. Don't worry about being the best right now. Just worry about being better every single day.
Right.
All
And then
right.
to add on to Pierre in the comments, that's what Level Up in Tech is for. So you don't got to go through all of that information. We got a nice learning path for you for what you need to know. Anything outside of that, you could do after you finish and after you get a job. So yes, all right. So I just wanted to add that in.
Yep. Yep. So look, I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it,
You
but
want to go do it? Let's do it. Let's
hold
do
on. Mel's gonna be mad at me because I told her I wasn't gonna do it. But listen, let me see where we're gonna put. What's today? Today's the 22nd, right? Put
it.
20
Two.
put 22 in the comments if you want more information on how we can help you reach that bag in the cloud engineering role in 6 months in our program. Put 22 for a special discount as well. We're looking for people that's just like you, who are convicted, or have a conviction of learning, who are committed to learning, committed to pushing themselves to the next level. Put the 22s in the chat. Our team will get with you to give you more information about how we can help. And this is what it's all about. We appreciate y'all so much. My name's Broadus. That's my road dog, Bryant with your big COO, big money with your call God anytime you want. You want to get the ball, put the 22s in the chat. And let's continue to level up in tech. We out, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all.